You're listening to the Sabrina Philipp podcast. In this episode, I'm joined by Australia's favorite son, my fiancé, Paul, and we're sharing all the details on our engagement. We're telling you about how he asked, where he asked, the ring, our wedding plans, and we make a very special announcement about Paul's new role in the business. Welcome to the engagement episode. Let's dive in.
You're listening to the Sabrina Philipp podcast. In this show, online business coach and self-made millionaire Sabrina Philipp shows you how to do entrepreneurship your way. She moved to Bali with $800 in her bank account and just 1 year later had scaled her business to 7 figures. Sabrina has been featured in Forbes, Business Insider, Goldcast, and Cosmopolitan. Using her signature, intentional, manageable, profitable framework, Sabrina helps women make millions online. Currently traveling the world, tune in each week as she reveals the best tips, tricks, and strategies for creating the intentional life and business of your dreams. Here's your host, Sabrina Philipp. Hey everyone, it's Paul Thompson here, Sabrina's fiancé.
What was that?
Sabrina's fiancé.
Can you say it again?
Yeah, I know. Sabrina's fiancé.
Ooh.
Sounds French, doesn't it?
Sure it does. It's a French word.
Yeah, probably is.
Can you say that in an Australian way?
Fiancé. We've got a good episode coming up today. We're going to talk all about the engagement. All love. It's all cute, isn't it?
Mushy. Feelings.
Oh.
Flowers.
So cute. Love. We're going to just kind of have a bit of a chat about how I proposed and wooed you off your feet and so romantic. So you're going to hear all the juicy details. And we're going to have a bit of back and forth. We've got some points here just to kind of keep us on track, but we'll see where this one takes us.
He's going to get lost in my eyes and he's just going to wander off into thoughts.
They do dazzle me.
All about me.
Actually, it's probably one of the first things I remember really admiring and falling in love with you about in Bali. It was like you had these really big, beautiful eyes.
Do you remember our first date?
Sure do.
Where was it?
The Whopper at the Elephant.
A Whopper?
Mm-hmm.
Our date was a Whopper?
Yep.
Tell us all about it.
Have we chatted about this before?
I don't think we've ever told anyone.
Really?
I think we've told people, oh, it was an amazing first date. It was 8 hours, but I don't think we ever gave anyone details.
Yeah, no, we went to the Elephant Cafe in Ubud.
Bali?
In Bali, yeah. And I remember you were super intelligent. Like you just had like all the answers to every question. And you were sitting up so straight. You were like a little lady. You had your legs thing and you had your hands on your legs and you were sitting all up nice and tall. Here I was slouching over. I don't even know if I had a t-shirt on. I think I had a singlet, didn't I?
I think you had a singlet,
oh
yeah.
My God.
Which is,
what a keeper.
It's
and
like a tank top.
Yeah, and a cap. Did I have the cap in the cafe?
I think you did, yeah.
Why didn't you run then?
Back in the day, Paul always wore this like horrible cap.
It was a good one.
It was basically a snapback, but with a slight curve.
Yep. Yeah, I missed
really
that.
Horrific.
It was great.
Yeah, I think I
Sun safety.
threw it away. I'm not sure.
You probably did. Burnt it in some kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first date. It was a good one.
It was a whopper.
It was bloody good. All right.
Just brushing over these details.
Oh, which detail do you want me... Which one?
It's how the love story began.
Yeah, okay. It's the start. It's the beginning.
We have to start at the beginning.
Okay. All right. Grab your cup of tea.
Settle in, folks.
Settle in. All right. Put your woolen socks on.
So what was interesting, I thought about that date, it was kind of 3 dates in one. So we did the Elephant, which is a really cute cafe in Ubud. It's actually my favorite cafe in Bali. So fun fact, if you ever go to Bali, you have to go to the Elephant. And it has this like open air space that it looks over Champuan Ridge. So you're basically looking at these like hilly rice fields, essentially. It's super beautiful. It's vegetarian and vegan. The food is amazing.
And they used to allow dogs, but now they don't.
I know. They're haters. But they used to allow dogs. Just cute little puppies everywhere back in the day. But that was my favorite cafe, and I think that's where I suggested we go. Mm-hmm. And then we went to a coffee shop, which is no longer open. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't remember either. It was right...
it was next to the vet.
Yeah,
I remember that, but I don't remember what it was called. Like Made in Ubud or something like that. Made in Bali. It had like a weird name. It was good though. And then we went to Pachamama.
La Pachamama.
So that's a Mexican vegetarian restaurant. It is vegetarian, right? They
got fish as well.
But they added that later.
Yeah.
So later they added seafood and fish, but it's like a separate restaurant in the same building. It's really weird. It's La Pachamama and the Cevicheria. Anyway, we get to La Pachamama and the owner comes, give Paul's a big pat on the back and drops down 2 tequila shots. And I was like, oh.
He's like, hey, my brother, how you doing? I was
Yeah.
like, good, thanks, mate. It's good to be back. I was like, Sabrina's like, who is this guy? How does he know him?
Weird. It was so weird.
It was so good. I remember 3 distinct phases to that date, though. I remember at the Elephant, it was like, you're obviously getting to know each other and just background, who's who in the zoo. And it was all like, you were like political science and majors. And yeah, it was
I remember I said, I don't hate anyone except for Donald Trump.
Yeah, I know. And that's when I like covered up my Trump tattoo. I was like, honestly, hashtag fact, don't have a Trump tattoo.
You don't have any tattoos.
That you know of.
Neither of us have tattoos. That's a fun fact.
Yeah, I remember that was like the kind of the scope of the conversation there. And then when we went to the cafe, it was all about business and marketing. I remember
that.
Really getting into the weeds about.
I like learned about where you were working and you learned about my business. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, right. That's when I was like, wow, she's not only smart, but she's like really successful. Like this is a little dynamite.
Wow.
Yeah. So I said, I've got to take it to a Mexican restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my upgrade.
That was like your big finish.
Yeah, the big finish.
The big, woo.
Le Granale.
I remember I went home though, because we both had our own bikes.
Yep.
So we were both on motorbikes.
Yep.
I went home and I think you texted me after like 20 minutes and you're like, do you want to get dinner? Like it was pretty much immediate. So I just changed my dress and then, because at that point it was like 7 o'clock.
I think I put on a shirt at that
6:30.
stage.
Yeah, I think you did. Thank goodness.
Took off my hat.
Oh, yeah. How would you describe phase 3?
Oh, yeah, it was good. There was lots of espresso martinis. Yeah.
So back in the day, Paul was known for espresso martini. So
Synonymous.
you would say Paul Thompson espresso martini. It was like a one phrase. You would ever meet someone like, hey, do you know Paul? And they would go, oh, espresso martini.
Yeah. The espresso martini guy.
Yeah.
I reckon I drank more espresso martinis than water at one stage.
And now, he won't touch them.
No.
Because, again, at a Mexican restaurant in Bali, maybe
Mexican restaurant.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
A year and a half ago?
Still.
We got a jug of espresso martini, as you do.
You jug. That's J-U-G. It's a jug.
And obviously, Paul's a much bigger man than I am. Well, I'm not a man, but you're much bigger than I am.
Yeah.
So he drank most of them. And then the next day, he was so sick and he
I reckon it's probably alcohol poisoning or something.
I mean, it might have been. But you had to be like hooked up to an IV and all sorts of stuff. Not like in a hospital. Like they came to him.
No,
they thought you had like a stomach bug or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
Anyway, since then, I think you've maybe had 1 or 2 and not even finished them espresso martini.
Stay away from them.
Can't do it.
No, can't do it. Stick with coffee.
I think that date might have been my first espresso martini.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
See?
There we go.
So that's where our love started.
Dun, dun, dun. And this is how it ended.
We've only improved from there. Yeah, so fast forward.
3 years.
3 years goes by.
3 long years.
Passport full of stamps.
Wow. Yeah. Where have we been together?
Oh my gosh.
We've been to Greece, Germany, United Kingdom,
Scotland,
France. We've been to Scotland. We've been to Australia, the Maldives, Bali, or Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, United States, Canada. I know we're missing like 100 other countries.
Yeah.
But we've been to a lot of places and we've done a lot of things. So where in the world did we get engaged?
Here we go. We got engaged in Paris, France.
Ooh la la.
It was the city of love.
January 27th, 2020. Break it down.
Break it down. Okay. To set the scene for you.
Yep. Do a little beatboxing.
I can't really beatbox.
That was pretty good though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was nice.
Yeah, so we were currently in London, decided to go to Paris for...
Whisked me away for the
weekend. For a little getaway.
Mm-hmm.
Turned into a lot longer than a weekend, didn't it?
That's
but anyway, so we went for the weekend or for a few days over to Paris. It was a very romantic city. We booked in to a nice dinner at a very, very, very beautiful restaurant in Paris. is it not the oldest?
It's the oldest restaurant in Paris.
The oldest restaurant in Paris. Napoleon, used to eat there.
Yeah.
That's pretty old.
That's super, super old.
Yep.
Yep. And all the French presidents go there. It's just a really well-known, beautiful restaurant. It's called Le Grand Fefort. And the first time we went to Paris together, we ate there. And I also think that it must have been our first big tasting menu.
Yeah, it was my first degustation menu.
Yeah,
Is that how you say the word? Degustation?
Yep. It was 10 courses.
Yeah, Whopper.
Mm-hmm. And I remember when we went that day, we were going to do it again, but we missed it by 15 minutes. Because we got there at 9:45 or something, right? We got there really late.
Yeah, wouldn't be like Sabrina to be running late for a meal.
Listen, we never go to anywhere that late, though.
No, we don't. Our reservation was, I think, was at 9:30.
I thought it was originally at 8:30, and we just kept calling and pushing. I can't remember.
Probably.
I can't remember what happened. I don't even remember why we delayed it.
So we got to the restaurant. We missed the degustation menu. That was okay.
Because they basically made one for us. They're like, technically you missed it, but let's just go ahead and make a 6-course one just for you. What do you want? Boom, 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 boom. And they split it all in half so that it was smaller portions for each of us. Yeah. It was good.
And I'm trying to play cool cucumber over here, making sure Sabrina's not getting upset that the menu isn't how she wanted it kind of thing. Because I know what's coming.
I don't get what I want.
I know what's coming. So I didn't want her to be in I'm disappointed about dinner mood. You recovered. They recovered well with the menu.
They
kind of thing.
recovered so well.
You didn't even get upset really this time, but I was just please go perfectly. The sommelier was there. I went to the bathroom, right? And so on the way, she said, there's this private room where all of the celebrities go. That's when anyone famous doesn't really come eat in the restaurant. They come and eat upstairs and here just to kind of stay out of the limelight. And she was showing me that room and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, thanks, cool. No worries. I went back to the table and on the way back, I said, hey, I need a favor. Can you help me with something? And she said, well, yeah, what do you need help with? And I pulled out the ring out of my pocket and I said, I'm going to propose to Sabrina. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Yeah, what do you need? And so I said, here's what I want you to do. I said, I want you to organize 2 glasses of champagne. And then I want you to come over to the table and ask or offer to take a photo of us. Pretty simple request, right? So again, Sabrina, no idea what's going on. And we're sitting opposite sides of the table. And she comes over, a few minutes later or whatever. And she says, hi, do you want me to take a photo of you guys? We said, yeah, sure. So I'll jump around over to the bench side where Sabrina is. She's taking a photo. And I got her to say, as she was given the phone back, by the way, congratulations on your engagement. Right? And so Sabrina's face was like, what?
I was so confused.
What engagement? And just as she was asking that, I pulled out the ring and I said, will you marry me? Squeals of delight echoed throughout the restaurant.
Everyone stopped and looked at us. And also the champagne came at the same time.
See? And I timed it miraculously. So as it came out, will you marry me? Bang, emotions. And then champagne arrived at the perfect timing. It was just brilliant. So turns out all of the staff were in on it. They were all watching too. Everyone was so excited and stuff. Yeah, so they were all watching over, very happy for us. Sabrina said yes, of course, because now we're here. Got very in between, you're happy and then crying. It just kept on bouncing between the two.
Yeah, I think I was in shock because I did not see it coming.
So good.
At all.
Surprise.
Everyone's like, did you see it coming? Did you see it coming? Definitely not. Not even close. When I saw the ring, I was like, oh. He actually had to think about it enough to go out and get a ring.
Mm-hmm.
This is real. It was next level. I was crying. I kept crying and then I was happy and then I was crying and then I was happy. So eventually they brought me a silver platter of tissues.
Yeah, there was 6 folded tissues on a little silver platter tray.
Yeah, and it's not it was a box. It was the tissues folded and layered.
Layered, yeah.
Perfect 1 inch in between each tissue.
Like you'd see salami layered out.
Oh,
That's a bad analogy.
That's a bad analogy. Wiping my tears with salami.
It tastes good though. So that was romantic and surprising and just, yeah, it was so lovely.
I liked that you did it at Le Grand Fefort because I feel like we talk about that place a lot.
It was probably one of my favorite meals that we've ever had. Not
Definitely.
probably. I think it would have been one of the top ones.
Yeah. I also really liked Amber in Hong Kong. That one was next level good.
Yeah. Sidetrack. Sorry, everyone listening. But for that restaurant, we accidentally ordered an extra bottle of wine.
Oops.
I don't know how you do that. Like, he just misunderstood us because obviously the language barrier kind of thing bought out another bottle of wine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Drink
I'm
up.
here for it.
Drink.
But anyway, back to the engagement. You said like, oh, he had to think about it kind of thing. Well, yeah. I had to call Dad.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael. How are you, champ?
How you going?
Got something to chat to you about. So we had a bit of a chin wag.
A chin wag?
A chin wag.
You had a chin wag. You wagged your chins.
Yeah.
Oh, because you were talking.
Yeah, because when you talk, your chin moves, so they call it having a chin wag.
So you had a chin wag with Dad?
Yep. Even got to have a little bit of a chin wag with Lacey. So that was very, I think between you both, I don't know who like happy cried more.
I think Lacey is more of a happy crier than I am.
She is a good happy crier.
She is.
Yeah.
She is really good at that.
Yep. Had it all in the books. Got the ring. Now, it's a whopper.
That could be said, yes.
So, what are the details?
The stats.
The stats of the ring.
The stats. It is an 1895 Cartier solitaire ring with a platinum band.
Yum.
A 1.05 G VVS1 diamond.
Bang.
What people might not know is that we have tried on this ring together maybe 5 or 6 times over the last 3 years. So I feel like we always knew it was going to be this one. When the time would come, we knew it had to kind of be this one. We've tried on the Tiffany's one. We've tried on other boutiques. We've just always really liked this one.
Yeah, I'm super happy with it.
Do you know what I thought was very funny? It was the sommelier's first day.
Yeah. She came back to us after and she let us know that it was her first day on the job. So.
And then Lacey had dinner there the night that she got engaged too. And she had the same sommelier and they were talking to her about it. She didn't get engaged at the restaurant and I'll let her tell her engagement story. But I love that connection between us that we both got engaged in Paris and we had dinner at the same restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
so
super
fun.
cool.
Alrighty. So we know about the ring. We know how you asked. We know that you asked my dad for permission. Now, a question that I have is after 3 years, why did now feel like a good time to take this next step in our relationship?
Yeah, so basically I flipped a coin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, heads yes, tails no.
Was it 2 out of 3 or just the one flip?
No, just a single.
Oh, that's risky.
Flip it up. Well, it landed right, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Why now? Business is ramping up. Life is moving pretty.
So this was a business decision?
You jumped in quite quickly there, didn't you? You didn't even hear the ending of my...
Rip my heart out.
Oh, golly gosh. Why now? Yeah, because there's so much of our lives that is growing and moving really quickly, very excitingly, both personally and in the business. Like everything is just kind of coming together. And it feels like a really good time in our kind of process to really take that next step and like have that signal of commitment that no matter what, it's going to be bloody great.
Do you feel like the energy has changed post-engagement?
Yeah, I feel like I get less of a say in the house now.
Oh, how's that?
You have, what do you call it? Wife rights.
Wife rights, that's true.
Oh my gosh, it's a thing. This is crazy.
The day after we got engaged, I was like we were walking the streets in Paris, so happy, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, I want to buy you this jacket. And he was like, no, I don't need a jacket. So I basically held up my hand and I was like, wife rights, I can buy you a jacket if I want to. And he was like, what the hell is a wife right? And I literally said, welcome to hell.
Oh, good times. No, I forget what was your question?
Just how has the energy changed or has it post-engagement?
I think it's shifted us more into for me, it's like the go slow to go fast kind of thing. So now there is a sense of security or safety, like an extra layer that is on top of the relationship that was already there. Like we already felt that, but like an added layer, it's like that kind of the pressure's off almost. And it's just hey, what do we need to focus on now in the short term that's going to be the most beneficial for us, for the relationship and for the business and things like that.
I have definitely felt that the energy is more long-term, big decisions like
where are we going to live?
Where are we going to live?
How many cats we're going to own?
Hey, babies and puppies, no cats.
Bummer. Wife rights.
I
don't even like cats. I just...
So, yes, like, what are my wife rights? Where are we going to live? Where do we get to travel? When do we want to have kids? How many kids do we want to have? I think it's been fun to have some of those bigger conversations, but I think also there's just been an extra layer of sweetness, right? Which is normal with any honeymoon period and just celebrating and enjoying this. But it's been, I think, really fun and really sweet. That's how I felt about it. So why now? It just felt like the right time to take it to the next level. Why didn't you propose 2 years ago? I'm just kidding. But I feel like I've wanted this for so long. And so it was, I think that's part of the reason why I was so in shock when it did happen, because I almost never
actually happened.
Right. I feel like I never believed that you would get there. Like I stopped believing, oh yeah, we're going to get married one day. I was like, I'm just going to be Sabrina Philipp, Paul Thompson's girlfriend, and he'll be Paul Thompson, Sabrina Philipp's boyfriend. I never thought I would be Sabrina Thompson. I always thought it would be Team Sabrina, but now it's Team Thompson.
Ooh. Yep. Well, at least the alliteration's there now, isn't it?
Yeah.
TT. You were talking about the big O questions of like where we're going to live and kids.
We've been talking about that a lot, and I think that's the natural next question that people always ask us. They're like, oh my gosh, how did he ask? Show me the ring, da-da-da. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So, where are you going to live?
Yeah, where are you going to settle down?
Do you know what I don't know if I like or not? Why do people assume that once you become, like, married, you're old and boring, you have to live in one place? I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'll answer that for you after we've been living in one place for 15 years.
Nope.
Yeah?
No.
Because then you'll be like, wow, I love our home. I love our family. I love everything about just being central in one place.
So here's what I think everyone should do. Go to my latest Instagram post and comment and tell me if you could ever see Sabrina Michelle Philipp living in one place for 15 years.
Probably more, I reckon.
Do it.
You'll be in a walking frame by the time you leave.
Listen, everyone do that. Go to my last Instagram post, leave a comment. Tell me, could you imagine Sabrina Philipp living in one place for 15 years, and I'm going to pick someone and I'm going to send you a free prize?
Cool. Do I get to go for the prize?
Definitely not.
Bummer. We have 3 nationalities. We've got the German passport, we've got the American passport, we've got the Australian passport. Yeah. So we've got a real pick of where we can settle down. We have more access to financial resources than we can ever imagine.
Yeah.
So our choices are really open. Like we literally could live anywhere. And I think we're hitting a bit of decision fatigue here. A lot of choices. How do we pick just one?
We're definitely really privileged in this. I'm the one with the German passport. I was born in Germany. For anyone who didn't know that, I moved to the United States when I was 4. I also have American citizenship. So my dad is German and my mom is American. So I had both upon birth. Paul is obviously Australian, and I think just to prove that, he should maybe say
Crikey.
Thank you, a few more.
Oh,
come on.
Stone the crows.
What about like Roo Loose in the top patty?
Oh, yeah.
Done like an English breakfast.
Stubby short of a 6-pack, that guy.
What's the one that you taught me the other day? Studge something?
No, it's a humdinger.
Not a humdinger.
Oh,
I learned that one, but there was another one. It was like a weird one.
I don't know. There's so many.
Yeah, I think we should do an episode just all about Paul's Australianisms.
Yeah, for sure. We can educate people.
Yeah, so we have to pick where we're going to live if we decide to settle down, if that's even a thing that I know how to do. In my defense, I lived in Bali very consistently for 2.5, 3 years. 3 years.
So you just got to 5X that and you'll be fine.
May 2016 to about June 2019, I was in Bali for one place. So I do know how to settle. I lie about that.
Yeah,
but I guess I don't know how to settle in a Western country. Does that make sense?
It doesn't to everyone.
Because it's like just a little bit too boring. Like, I live in
oh my
a normal place. I don't know how to do that. Like, I could go settle in Hong Kong. I could go settle in
you get coronavirus
Singapore.
down
Listen,
there.
I could go settle in Buenos Aires. I could go settle somewhere cool, but I don't know if I could settle somewhere normal.
What's the matter with London?
London's pretty cool.
See?
I would settle in
London's
London.
Cool.
London or Paris, I would do that.
Yep.
So we've been talking about, in the United States, either Florida or Colorado. I've mentioned Santa Barbara, California a few times. I only went once for 4 days, but I was like, I like it here. So we would obviously need to go check it out. My dad lives in Colorado. Denver's obviously a super cool city, big international airport. My mom and Lacey both live in Florida on the West Coast. So Lacey's in Tampa. My mom is in Naples. My sister Sophie just got a job in Miami as an accountant. My brother Max is over in San Francisco in college.
Pretty dispersed.
Really. But I would say mostly Florida. Second number of family density, Colorado. I still have family back in Little Rock, Arkansas, which is where my American family is from. So when I moved from Germany to the States, I moved to Little Rock, Arkansas. Can you imagine that? Me with a little Southern accent?
Yeah, well, I would like that. I think.
So that's the States.
Yeah, that's the States.
And then in Australia, Paul's family is from
Cairns.
Far North Queensland, super hot.
They are good looking, aren't they?
Yeah.
What were you talking about? The temperature.
The Thompsons are good looking.
Super hot. They're all super.
Especially your dad.
Hey?
I picked the wrong Thompson.
He's a dreamboat, isn't he?
He sure is.
Gregory.
Oh, that man. Gregory Alfred Thompson.
I think our biggest kind of question is not so much the location, but the weather, right? I want to live somewhere that's like really cold for most of the year.
Well, I don't know if it's the weather because I don't care too much about the weather.
Okay.
Like, you're from Australia. I'm from Miami Beach.
Alaska.
Like, we are used to the hot.
Greenland.
I don't mind that as much as you do. You want to be somewhere cold and seasonal.
Yeah, cold and colder.
Paul is super pro Colorado.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I am super pro, let's say, London, Paris, Sydney, Australia, Melbourne, Australia, and that's about it. I like those.
Yeah.
We're very different, but we're definitely going to have to keep having these conversations and find a place to settle. So for anyone who's wondering, where are they moving? The answer is, we have no idea.
Send through your options.
Yeah, because we've been traveling a lot the last few months, and I think we've kind of realized that it's not the best for our relationship or just for like any human period to be
just like to
bopping.
Production.
But we did stop bopping though. So we spent a month in Rome in September. We spent a month in Edinburgh. London, been there since the beginning of January. Obviously, we went home to see our families over Christmas time. But we have slowed down, but I think that it does make sense. I will admit, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I want to, but it makes sense to settle.
For the foreseeable future, for the next 2 years, we'll be slow moving around the place. We've got a wedding.
Should we talk about that next?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul Charles Thompson.
Sabrina Michelle Philipp.
Where are we getting married?
Bali.
Yep. When?
June, July.
2021.
See.
We can't freak people out and have them thinking we're getting married June, July this year.
No, I saw everyone just running to check if they had invitations.
Yeah.
They're like, did I miss that?
Booking
check the
flights.
fridge. Harold, check the fridge.
Next year.
Yes.
So,
I feel like I was about to say
15 months.
Whopper again.
It is going to be a Whopper.
It is.
Oh,
that
will be
the
a
event.
Whopper.
I cannot wait.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
How much are we allowed to talk about what we're going to have at the wedding, or does it have to be a secret?
We can talk about it. I think here's the thing. We can talk about ideas, right?
Those things? Are we allowed
Yeah.
to? I just did hand movements.
Paul's like making hand movements like, can I tell them? Yeah, so there's going to be, you get to say it.
We're going to have fireworks.
Yeah.
We're going to literally set off fireworks. Like.
So
Yeah.
To set the stage of where we want to get married, I think Bali, first of all, before we would talk about where in Bali, Bali always made sense for us because that's where we met. That's where we lived for 2 years. We can move back if you want.
Negative.
Side note.
Negative. No.
I'm ready.
Let the record state that on this episode, it was known that Paul will not be living in Bali.
Let the record state that on this episode, Sabrina flashed her diamond
Wife
and
rights.
said wife rights.
Yeah, so Bali. So set the scene of what we want there.
Uluwatu.
Yeah, so cliffside wedding.
Yeah. So if you imagine Bali kind of like a diamond, toward the like middle center north-ish, you've got Ubud, which is where we met, which is very jungly. It's lots of rice fields. It's very traditional, religious, cultural heart of Bali. If you go all the way down to the tip is where you have Uluwatu. So we would do lots of like vacations and getaways there. 20 minutes from Uluwatu is Nusa Dua. So many vacations there. It's very cliffside. It's beautiful. It's a little bit more remote. It's not as developed.
Some of the best surfing in the world.
Yeah, I think it's number 4 surf spot, number 6 surf spot in the world.
High up there.
Yep. And then you kind of go a little bit to the west of the diamond and you have Canggu, which is where we also lived for a year and a half, which is a surf town close to the beach.
Yeah.
Uluwatu, cliffside
wedding. So just chairs lined up with big flowers and florally thing down the aisle.
We want to do all white.
Ocean in the background.
Yep.
Yeah. And then what I can't wait for is at night sometime, or like when we're kissing at sunset. And I have to be at nighttime for this one. I want like a really fast camera to kind of like run down through the crowd of people and then just slow-mo at us kissing with the fireworks exploding in the background.
I don't think the fireworks happen during the ceremony.
No, after. This is after. We're going to set this up after. Okay. That's a shot that I want.
Gotcha. I like how you're planning the videography of the wedding.
Yeah.
I'll take everything else.
Okay, then. If you do the set and design and I'll do the creatives for the shots.
All white flowers, minimal green foliage.
No espresso martinis.
I'm down for espresso martinis, mojitos, Sabrina margaritas.
Oh, Sabrina margaritas.
Yeah, we had those at IE Live.
Yeah, what can we have? Paul, I don't know. I can't think of anything. I'll think of something.
Paul Prosecco?
Thompson tequila shots.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep.
That's fun.
BYO lemon.
Team Thompson. You don't do lemon with tequila, do you?
I don't do anything.
I always do lime.
Yeah, just drink it.
Yeah, and if it's gold tequila, you do it with an orange and cinnamon. My dad taught me that.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks.
Appreciate your dad.
Thanks, Dad.
He's my dad now too.
Oh, I don't know if I want to share him. So getting married June or July 2021 in Uluwatu, Bali. And I have a question for you. I know it's only been just under a month, 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. Have I been a bridezilla?
Well, by the time they're listening to this episode, which will be like in a month's time, I probably might have a different answer. But no, you haven't. You have not been a bridezilla.
I've been really chill. And I think that's because my brain is just kind of like outsource. Like just hire someone. They'll do the whole thing. Yeah. And also it's in a year and a half.
Yeah.
So we're definitely way ahead of the curve.
I think maybe when you get closer to the event.
Yeah, that's fair.
There might be.
So we'll have to check back in like after the wedding. Yeah, we're going to do a check-in on this. Hey, was Sabrina bridezilla?
Yeah.
Welcome to hell.
Yeah, I know.
What if you're a little groomzilla?
No, I will be.
Yeah?
Yeah, I will be demanding things like...
I want my orchids!
Excuse me, why do I have to stand in this puddle? Or throw down your jacket so I can step over it? That's what I'm going to... That's exactly...
Do you think that we're going to settle down and move somewhere before the wedding or after the wedding?
I think it'll be after the wedding.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we'll do a couple of months somewhere, smash out IE Live. Oh, so excited for that. And then cruise around for the rest of the year, end up somewhere cold. Then next year, open plans, and then to be back in Bali around that May, June, July, August kind of thing. We might spend a couple of months there next year.
Yeah.
Around the wedding.
Do you think we'll keep traveling after we're married?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because if I don't, we won't stay married, I don't think. I think you'll be like, well...
It's been fun.
It's been fun. Bye now.
Wishing you the best.
Au revoir. I think that...
I'll say that as I book my flight to Paris.
Yeah, because no, I think it's definitely a really key thing that like sparks joy. Right, as Marie Kondo say, it sparks joy in your heart because traveling and escaping, and the same for me, right? So I did that. Is it Gene Keys?
Yeah, you did Gene Keys.
Yeah. So Gene Keys was like, man, like you are an explorer, like traveler at heart. Like you have to be out and experiencing the world. So I think it's naturally going to be a part of our family, forever.
Speaking of families, when do I get a baby?
I don't know. Yeah, 5 to 10 years. Yep.
How many kids do you want?
7.
How many kids do I want?
Including the dogs or not including the dogs?
Not including the dogs.
2.
I would say that's about right.
My theory is if you have a boy and a girl, then we call it quits. If we have boy or girl, you've got to go for a third to try and even it up.
I don't know. You could be a cute little boy dad, or I could be a boy mom. You could be a girl dad.
Well, I am a cute little boy dad.
I think that because I know that eventually we'll be a digital nomad family, the fear I just struck into Paul's heart because I know that we're going to have to travel with our little basketball team all around the world.
I'm having trouble breathing.
I think that having one or two
site?
is good, right? I think you should never have more kids than hands.
I just think you underestimate how difficult it is to travel with kids.
Well, as I've mentioned in the past to my dear beloved fiancé, Paul, we're going to be like Beyonce and Kim Kardashian West and have some night nannies up in here.
Yeah. Bless you. I think for sure, like you give it a whirl, babe. You go for it. I'm not going to stop you. You go for it. Up it. And then after your first attempt, then we can chat about.
I mean, that's like a 5-year episode check-in.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll have to stay tuned.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see. I think it will be interesting to see what life is like when we're married, in the business, with kids. And then I think adding that travel mix would also be perhaps next level, but TBD, to be determined.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. But I don't think kids will come for several years.
5 to 10.
Listen, I've always said that I wanted to be married for a few years at least before starting to have a family.
I just want to be able to be like traveling around somewhere and like, I don't know, the St. Regis in Aspen or something and just be like, oh, I'm just waiting for my wife. She's coming back from the spa. Like I want to be traveling and seeing my wife a lot without having like baby food all over me and like snot in my hair.
I mean, like I said, I think definitely we want.
Not that
we're both on the same page.
Not that that's something that I don't want.
It's not a bad thing at all, but we're both on the same page that we want to be married for
sure.
Years before the family conversation comes in. So I guess the last piece of this that I wonder if you would chat with me about is, just to wrap this up a little bit, is how do you see our role in the business having changed post-engagement?
Yeah.
And do you think it'll continue to change even after we're married?
Give everyone an update on that.
Dun dun dun, big surprise update starting now. Oh, I have to do it?
Yeah, that's what I said. Give everyone an update.
No, I was like, da da da, starting now.
Oh,
and then I
sorry,
looked at
babe.
you.
Yeah, no, I missed that.
He was drinking water.
I
He
looked
wasn't
away.
looking at
I didn't
me.
even see the gesture.
Okay, I'll do it again. Ready? Dun da da, big surprise update starting now.
So I've joined Sabrina Philipp as COO.
What's that?
The coup.
Oh,
Cool. Chief
again?
Operating Officer. So looking after daily operations of the team, execution on strategy and business development.
So, as some of y'all know, Paul had previously worked in the business, and it was not our favorite thing ever. And then he went and he started his own business, which was very successful. 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, doing education consulting, course consulting, business consulting.
Yep.
We had that conversation, and he came on as COO, Chief Operating Officer. And I think that it has been very different this time because last time it was just us. I don't think we even had a VA back then.
Nah, yeah.
I think we had one.
Yeah, I was scheduling like client calls and
Yeah.
responding to support emails and for the life of me, I just could not get time zones right.
Yeah, it was hard.
It was so difficult.
But now you're managing 30 people.
Yeah, that's fun.
Do you like it? I feel like we could even do a whole other episode on this, but have you liked it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots happening. Lots of projects, lots coming out. Give it to me. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a really perfect fit for you, and we're really well supported in this, and I feel like marriage changes things.
Why? When I'm married yet?
But like the promise of getting married.
Oh,
like
roger that.
I feel like it makes things more stable and secure.
Maybe that's, and I think that's probably a reflection of your internal thoughts too. Like now you feel more stable and more.
Yeah. Well, do you?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really changed.
Yeah, but the relationship has.
Yeah.
So I think that energy though is carrying over to our business relationship.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Where it just feels a lot better. And we also have to make it work.
Yeah, it's definitely giving us a lot of opportunity to learn how to communicate better.
Yeah.
Like every day is an improvement.
Yeah.
And working towards it. So, and I'm loving it.
So big changes.
Yeah.
Getting married. Paul COO. Babies coming.
Hey, hang on. I thought you were going to say Baby Yoda, but no, babies later.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, so huge fundamental changes and shifts in the relationship and the business. Very, very exciting. Lots happening. Yeah, just really happy. Like there's a sense or an energy of like it's like a really good like
it does.
energy.
There's a lot of momentum. It feels very fresh. It feels very fun. It's exciting. Babe, anything else from you?
I think that's it.
All right. Well,
I love you.
I love you too, darling. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Sabrina Philipp podcast. New episodes are released every Wednesday. If you love this episode all about sales skills and you know it's time to take yours to the next level and you want 2020 to be the year that you make massive bank, then you're going to want to check out my new sales course called Sold Out Sales. This course is a live 6-week course that will take you from nobody buying to solidly and consistently closing sale after sale. It is open from March 5th through 18th for the one and only time in 2020. In this course, you're going to learn how to sell yourself on your value, who your ideal clients are and how to speak to them, how to structure your sales calls, how to filter your leads, why the fortune is in the follow-up, how to close like a boss in the DMs, how to develop your product suite, how to structure your offers, pricing strategies for charging what you're worth and raising your rates, and a million things more. You will walk away from Sold Out Sales with a complete and total sales system to take your life and business to the next level. And like all my online courses, you also have lifetime access. So if you ever need a refresher, you can always come back. So as I said, this course is only open for one time in 2020 from March 5th through 18th. Go to sabrinaphilipp.com/soldout-sales to enroll. And all of the details are in the show notes down below. I would love to see you on the inside, and I'll catch you on next week's podcast episode.